Hello, Melissa. How are you doing today?
Hi, doll. I'm doing really good. Just enjoying the day.
Oh, that's great. That's great. What year are you?
I'm a third year. Currently a community regional development major, and I switched my major a couple of times. So I'm glad that I finally declared a major.
That's awesome. That's great. I'm glad you did that. And I'm a third year electrical engineering student, minoring in technology management.
Okay, that's cool. Are you currently at home or are you in Davis?
I'm at Davis. What about you?
I'm at home, so my home's in Riverside. I go to
Oh,
Davis here and there, but not living there at the moment.
wow. That's great. So I would love to know more about how do you find your community at UC Davis?
Yeah, so I think I found community first off with my orientation group. They were really awesome. Back in the day, that's when I was a philosophy major, and they were all psychology majors. So even though they were different majors, they were really nice people, and it was just fun to like get to know each other in that little small group environment. And that's how I first found my closest best friends and roommates. Shout out to them. They're currently my roommates still to this day, so that's really cool. And then through the college. So I'm in the College of Ag. So there's this leadership organization called Aggie Ambassadors, and that focuses on three pillars: so community, leadership, and outreach. And through that club, like there's so many different majors from the college, like plant science, animal science, human sciences, like human development and community regional development, things like that. That like you kind of get to know a little bit of everyone. And so we were able to like go out and travel a little bit of the state. We're able to give workshops. We are giving workshops about leadership, and like it was a great opportunity to get to know people. And um I have like different ways to meet people. It was like through orientation and then through that group of Aggie ambassadors. What about you? How did you find community?
Well, when I first joined Davis, I was trying to get myself into a kind of activities that I used to do in high school. So I used to be involved, look at clubs. There are more than 800 clubs at UC Davis. So I was looking at those. There was a lot of showcases happening. And so from the first quarter, I joined a lot of cool clubs like Space and Sunlight Systems, in which we're building a small CubeSat that will be launched to space. And all of these, in addition to like organizations that are more engineering oriented, like IEEE and others, I was able to get to know a lot of other people that are within my major, and so that started a lot of friendships, talking about classes, talking about planning for future classes, and slowly I started becoming having my own community. In addition to the community I also had in the dorms, where we all know and greet each other. And so once we were able to get through all of this, I believe that right now I have a very established community, which was really easy to find right when I came from Davis.
Yeah.
As an international student at first, you might be a little worried. Would I be able to find people that are like-minded? Would I be able to fit in? Well, it's really easy to do that at Davis.
Mm-hmm. That's awesome. I never did the club fair thing. I was just always too scared and overwhelmed. I used to be in the quad, right? Like in the quad during like
Yeah.
the first few weeks. Yeah, I was always so scared. I always got the freebies for sure. And I went to the study abroad one, but I never went to like the actual like 800 clubs. But that's cool. I'm glad that it does like have cool stuff.
Yeah.
Um, so going off of that, what are the vibes like in Davis for you?
So I would say that Davis has some kind of, it's a mix of both. It depends on where you are in the city. I would say like it has like some of the cool vibes when it comes to like Friday nights, the weekends. There's a lot going on. There's like farmers market. There's like a lot of cool things that are happening around Davis throughout the weekend. At the same time, it's family. Like everyone at the
Yeah.
university during weekdays, they're all helping and
Yeah.
assisting each other. Especially since the city is mostly students, so
Mm-hmm.
there are students everywhere. You can find your classmate at, I don't know, anywhere it could be. And that's truly nice because you'll be seeing your
Mm-hmm.
friends all around the town, and that yeah, that's pretty cool. What about you? How do you think? What are the vibes like in Davis?
Yeah, I definitely have to agree to that. I think the vibes in Davis are very like community likewise. Like a lot of people get to know each other. And I think the way that we contribute to each other's learning experience is like the best part. Like I think the best part is seeing like people from your classes in like boba shops or like at restaurants in downtown or even in the farmers market. So that's really awesome. I think the vibes in Davis, I think that's what attracted me to the school a lot, was that it was more mellowed down, and like the way that there's the arboretum and like people go out there and study, and like it's more chill and calm. Like it's really cool because I'm from like an urban area where there's a lot of city, like a lot of movement, a lot of cars, a lot of people. And then in Davis, it's like bikes and like people going on picnics and a lot of dogs. I think that's my favorite part, is the vibes, is the dogs. I think when places have dogs, like people like have to be caring and loving. So I really enjoyed Davis. I think I have to agree with all the good stuff you said about it, and especially like Friday nights before like COVID, it was a lot of like downtown music. There was like places playing, and I think even now, like in the downtown area, there's like a band that plays where there's like Baskin Robin and Chipotle, I think, in that little shopping center. So that was really cool. So what are you involved in on campus? I know you mentioned a little bit of it, but what are some other things you do?
Yeah. So I am involved in Space and Satellite Systems Club on campus. I have founded my own club, Developer Student Club on campus. And yeah, I'm also taking part of like IEEE. So there's a lot of different opportunities when it comes to clubs. There are clubs for every major, for every culture, and for every ethnic groups. There are clubs for everyone, and so that gives people a lot of choices to see what they're interested in and what they want to do, even though it's not related to their major. Like we have students that are interested in engineering in our club. There are some engineering students that are interested in art or design that goes to other clubs. And so being able to find your own community by joining those campus campus what is it campus clubs was very, very important. Also, I'm a part of AATC, which is the Academic Writing and Tutoring Services. So I tutor, and this is one of the main campus organizations that I'm involved with. I feel it's one of the great ones out there. It's helping and assisting a lot of students in a variety of subjects. So I highly recommend people who are able to take advantage of that to do so.
It's cool to see like other colleges and work, because you're in engineering. So it's really awesome that you're making your own opportunities as well. Like I said, I think the largest portion of my involvement on campus is through Aggie ambassadors at UC Davis. So like I mentioned before, it's like a leadership organization. So I used to be in something called FFA in high school. So that really, like you mentioned before, the things that I did in high school really framed what I wanted to do in college. So in high school, I got to like show animals or like do leadership workshops or like be part of a leadership team. So with Aggie ambassadors, that gave me that same opportunity to do so. So we go to like different workshops and events or present workshops to high schoolers, middle schoolers that are interested in the College of Ag. We are really involved with the FFA program events. So there's things like state conference where the FFA students come and talk about their leadership skills and have like leadership workshops, and that's where we offer leadership workshops. We go to things like World Ag Expo where we just talk about UC Davis. I'm also involved in the college's event called Field Day, where they host these contests for the FFA students. So 2 years ago, or 2 years in a row, I was the veg crops coordinator. So they were able to judge vegetables. So I think that's my favorite part, is like that they get to judge vegetables. And I used to do that. So now I'm like, I can give them the same, like I feel your pain, but now I'm giving you like the pain of having to study and stress about these vegetables, which has good coping mechanisms, but it's really cool to know how to identify them. And then this year I got the opportunity to host the extemporaneous contest, which is a public speaking for 30 minutes with unprepared information. So that was really cool. I'm also part of orientation. Like I said, orientation did a big, big impact on like the types of friends that I did make and the community that I was able to have. So I've always wanted to give back. So that's my first year, I was an orientation leader, and that was really cool. We got to spend time in the dorms, welcome new incoming students, freshmen, transfers, international, and out-of-state students. And then my second year, I was a team lead. So we kind of did more like leadership and more management of it. And then again, I am a team lead. So it's a lot of things involving my college. I wish that I was able to do more like personal things, but it's good. I like it a lot.
That's
So
awesome.
you mentioned a lot of ways to make community and how you found your community and the ways that you make your club and all these things. So I have a question. What tips do you have for a new student on finding community at UC Davis?
So I would say my experience itself as a new student, I was trying to look for the things that I used to do in high school and the things that I love to do. And so I used to do a lot of things in high school that I enjoyed, and I felt like, oh, if I continue doing that at university, I'll be extremely happy, right? A lot of these things were around working on engineering projects, working on MUN, and a lot of different things. And so I would highly recommend all those incoming students to look for what they have been doing and what they enjoy doing, and maybe get a little outside of their comfort zone by looking at other opportunities too. A lot of these clubs are very driven, a lot of them are motivated, a lot of them work together too. So there's a broad kind of scale that they could choose from. I believe that there's a club for everyone. Yeah. What
Definitely.
about you? What do you advise them to do?
Yeah, so I was thinking through like what you were saying, and I think the biggest part that helped me is bringing a friend. I think at first, in your first year, it's your first day of classes, first week of classes, you're kind of nervous because there's all these new people, and you feel like, oh my gosh, like I don't know anyone, everyone seems to know everyone, but in reality, no one knows anyone. And I think that's the cool nature of it is that you just come to the school without anyone really knowing your story. So no one knows what you like or what you don't like. So I think my best advice would be bringing a friend or making a friend or I did well, my friend did that to me in my first English class in at UC Davis. My classmate, so the person who literally sat next to me, we like had one conversation in class and then they're like, oh, do you want to come with me to like this vet clinic type of meeting? I was like, sure. Like I've never been like a vet clinic type person. And she was like, it involves horses. I was like, I've never done anything with horses. So it sounds like a cool opportunity. So definitely having a friend is helpful. Just because you don't have to be like the awkward person. And sometimes it feels like you're like when you're asking for ketchup at McDonald's or something, you're super nervous. At least you have someone there to support you. And I think too is putting yourself out there and following those passions and interests that you do have. I was that person who's like, I don't like anything. Like I don't know if I like anything, but they're all kind of hidden in the background. Like everything that I was doing was hidden in the background that I really didn't know. So it was good to also talk to an advisor or a college, either a peer advisor or a major advisor in your major, just because they're cool. Like they know what the typical people in this major like and like what clubs are out there and like they're a really great resource. So I think just finding support is my biggest advice. And I think just acknowledging that you may not be interested in certain things, but you really don't know until you try. That's what I always think. Uh, yeah.
Wow, that's really warming. Yeah, yeah. There's always a lot you can do. You can have friends, and in many of your classes, I've had a lot of friends just sitting next to in some of my lectures when it was in person. That was truly inspiring. Like someone sat next to me and one day and it was like, oh, you used to live here. I'm like, yeah. Oh, I used to live there too. It's yeah, it's something truly heartwarming. And so since we're both third year, how was your living on campus experience like? Did you live in like resident halls, or where did you go? Were you segundo, tercero, which dining commons?
I think the debate of the dining commons is a really big one. I think for myself, I lived in Tercero and I lived in Scrub Oak, so that it was one of the buildings closer to campus. So I love that part of it, is because it was like right off the like curve of the street where you can like go and walk compared to like in really in depth in Tercero, and it was like right next to the dining common. So that was like my favorite part. I was also on an all girls floor by choice of my parents, not by me, and I think that was the most challenging part about being in the dorms, but also not that challenging, just because I think being on all girls floor, it was fun. Like you were able to feel like that community, but it was also hard for us to all get started because I feel like as girls, it was hard for us to like get to know each other. Like we're fairly getting to know our roommates. Now we have to get to know everyone on the floor. So it's really cool to see that I did make some friends off of like the floor. They're not as I think a good thing to say is that even though you make friends in like the dorms there, it doesn't mean that they're gonna be like your best friends or though your most trusted peers for the rest of your life. I think it was just cool to have someone to like hang out with in the hall and or hang out and go eat dinner or lunch with. I think my experience in the dorms though was really great. I was in a triple mates couldn't make it to the rest of the quarter because of financial aid and personal issues. But it was awesome because we never got anyone else in the dorm. So I was living in the triple for two people. So that was really awesome. Like people would come in, but like I guess we weren't the vibe that people were looking for. So that was really cool. Like me and my roommate had a couch per se. So that was really cool. My roommate was random. I didn't, like I said, I didn't know anyone going into Davis and I kind of was a little scared, but my roommate was random and they were really cool. I think they also were in a different college, so I got to learn a little bit about a different college. I think that's the thing with random, like sometimes it's not even in the same college or major. And so that was really cool because she was biological sciences, I believe. And at that time it was philosophy. So it was really cool to see like her study habits, like what kind of classes she was into, the professors, like the lecture material. And I was like, okay, I have nothing like that in my classes. So that was really awesome. I think the dining commons was also the best part, just because it was so close. Like it was really, really close. And I think it was just cool that I had friends that lived in Tercero and then friends that lived in Segundo. Didn't have too many in Cuarto, but because I had those two friends in Tercero or Segundo, like I was able to enjoy both dining commons. I think you can in general, but it's fun to like just hang out with your friends and feel comfortable. I think personally though, even though I was in Tercero, Segundo had a better dining commons because there wasn't as much people in Segundo. And late night cookies and then the gym's right there. That's what me and my roommates used to do. After the gym, we would go get cookies.
Yes, yes, I truly, yeah, I could agree to that. I've also in a triple. One of my roommates was assigned because we were able to meet each other on a Snapchat group. And so we connected right away. Yep. And then we signed up together. And then we got a third one to be a random. And
Mhm.
so actually the we first were all confused. Oh, how will the random be? Is it gonna be
Mhm.
funny or how's it gonna be like? And it ended up really well. We were all three of us were extremely close up to this day. And so yeah, we're still friends. Yeah, we're still housemates. And that was something that is truly inspiring. I didn't thought that we will connect so much so fast and connect not just within our dorm room, within the floor. And so most of
Mhm.
the people that were on the floor, we started becoming friends with because this is something that we've done at the beginning, which is um, we all like everyone on the floor basically left their doors open for the first week. And so whoever's passing by would just say, "Hi, my name is Abdallah," let's say, and
Mhm.
I'd love to get to know you. So we made friends so fast in my dorm, and I think something that is extremely nice and a really good gesture on what happened on my floor. And yeah, I agree. I used to live right across from Tercero. I used to live in Mahogany, so I was very close to the dining commons, and we used to go on Segundo for late night cookies too. So I guess that is one of the Aggie traditions. I believe should be one right now. But I would say that kind of my on-campus experience shaped my university experience because most of the people that I know right now is through the dorms, and just that kind of experience was able to let me have a lot more friends, be able to find a lot out to be able to find myself within a community. And I believe that I highly recommend everyone to be living on campus for the first year at least. It helps you know the campus really well. And at the same time, being able to have a lot more friends and getting to know people. Since the DC
Mhm.
where everyone gets to know everyone. Everyone is there. And so you just go there. If you're sitting with a friend, you'll be able to get to know another friend, and that other friend will get you introduce you to another one. And then you could share a lot
Mhm.
of interests and experiences with each other. And so that kind of um, sharing knowledge is kind of relating back to the diversification at UC
Mhm.
Davis. There's a lot
Mhm.
of diverse communities. And so getting to know each other helps you expand your knowledge in all these different cultures, and at the
Mhm.
same time have a truly unique experience that not a lot of college students do have.
Yeah, I think adding on to your tidbit about eating at the dining commons, I think I was one of those people who, even if I went and ate by myself, I challenged myself to go talk to a person who was also sitting by themselves. And I've made friends like that. Like, I really did. Like, I never knew that would work. And I was that shy kid too. And I would just talk to one or two people, and then they would show up and it would be great. Like, I'm still friends with a couple of those people, and they're like, if you never came up to me, like I wouldn't have met you. And I was like, you know what? You're right. Like I'm glad that I made this choice.
Yes, yes, definitely. And that's truly one of the great things that I love about campus.
Definitely.
Yeah. It was a pleasure getting to know you, Melissa. I think we've exhausted most of our questions. Do you have any left?
No, I think we covered it all. It was great having this conversation with you.